Hello and welcome back to Global Value. In today's video, we'll be performing a fundamental stock analysis of Scorpio Tankers Inc., ticker symbol STNG, Sting without the I. At the time of recording this video, Scorpio Tankers is trading for just over $37 per share. Year to date, the stock has almost 3x'd. Over the past year, it's up 70%. Going back 5 years, however, the stock is down 5%, about down 1% each year. And going all the way back to when Scorpio Tankers was publicly listed 12 and a half years ago, the stock is down 71%, down about 10% each year. Their stock's stellar recent performance has been as a result of coming out of this real low period right after the pandemic happened in 2020, and now they've been on the rise, coinciding with the overall strength of the global shipping market. So Scorpio Tankers is trading at just about their 52-week high. The business has some short interest with about 5% of shares outstanding sold short. It's a $2 billion market cap. So what does the business actually do? Scorpio Tankers Inc. is a shipping company. It's engaged in providing the seaborne transportation of refined petroleum products. It serves its end users in the petroleum supply chain by distributing products such as gasoline, heating oil, and fuel oil from refineries. The company manages its business activities in 4 segments, namely LR1, Handyman, LR2, and MR. These business segments correspond to the 4 types of the company's fleet, which are either owned, financed, or barebone chartered. Its fleet is approximately an average of 6 years old, and Scorpio Tankers was incorporated in 2009 and is based in Monaco. We'll be performing a modified 8-pillar analysis as popularized by Everything Money, taking a look at 8 different financial metrics of Scorpio Tankers and coming to a beginning holistic understanding of the business. So let's get right into it. Starting off with pillar number 1, we want their average 5-year PE to be below 22.5. Currently, they have a negative PE, and over this time frame, they've also averaged a negative PE. So pillar number 1 is an X to start. Pillar number 2, we want them to have a 5-year return on capital that's above 9%. So they do not average very high returns on capital at all. In fact, over the last year, they had a negative return on capital. Averaged out, they produce about a 1% return on capital each year. So that is well below that 9% metric we were looking for. Pillar number 2 is also going to be an X. Pillar number 3, we're looking for 5-year revenue growth. And our first check from Scorpio Tankers is going to come on pillar number 3. They've marginally grown revenues from $513 million in 2017 to just about $541 million in 2021, which is about half of what they did in 2020. So that is our first check on pillar number 3. Pillar number 4, we're looking for 5-year net income growth. They've had negative net income in 4 out of the past 5 years, and they've actually increased the amount that they're losing. So that is an X on pillar number 4. Pillar number 5, we're looking for decreasing shares outstanding. When you purchase a share of stock, what you're really buying is a fractional ownership percentage of the underlying business. When a business issues new shares and dilutes existing shareholders, it means that the business is ultimately reducing your ownership percentage of the business and the percentage of the business's profits that you're entitled to. So over this time frame, Scorpio Tankers has diluted existing shareholders by about 50%. So that's an X on pillar number 5. Pillar number 6, we're looking for 5-year free cash flow growth. Free cash flow is cash from operations minus capital expenditures. It's this column here in green. Free cash flow is the lifeblood of any business. It can be used to make acquisitions, reinvest back in the business, buy back shares, pay dividends, or pay down debt. It is possible that Ticker's wrong here, but based on what they're showing, it looks like they had no capital expenditures in each of the last 2 years. So if that's true, and that's something we could confirm one way or the other by looking deeper into the company and reading through their 10K, then their cash from operations is equal to their free cash flows in each of the last 2 years. Again, I don't know if that's necessarily true, but that's what we're going to go off of for pillars 6, 7, and 8. So that's something we should check out if we're interested in the business further. So using that assumption, they've increased their cash from operations and they have grown their free cash flow. Over the past 5 years, using that assumption, they've averaged free cash flows of $103 million per year. So we'll use that in pillars 7 and 8 when we evaluate how the business utilizes leverage and then how the business's market cap compares to its free cash flow profile. Pillar number 7, we want their net debt, which is long and short-term liabilities minus cash and short-term cash equivalents, to be below their average 5-year free cash flow multiplied by 5. So Scorpio Tankers has $3 billion of net debt as of the end of 2021. Multiplying their average 5-year free cash flow times 5 only brings us to $500 million. So that is $2.5 billion off. This business is very highly leveraged. And ultimately what this means is that during times of financial weakness and during a hard financial downturn, the more highly leveraged a business is, the tougher time it's going to have. So that is a very concerning sign, and that's an X on pillar number 7. Finally, the big pillar of them all, pillar number 8, we want their market cap to be below their average 5-year free cash flow multiplied by 20. So currently they have a market cap of about $2.1 billion. Multiplying their average 5-year free cash flow of $103 million per year times 20 gets us to just over $2 billion. So this is going to be an X on pillar number 8. Not off by a lot, but off here. Again, remember that free cash flow is using the assumption that they have not had capital expenditures in the business over the past 2 years, and that ticker is accurately reporting that. We can dive into their 10K to learn more and understand if that assumption is true or not. Finally, the last thing I want to look at is their dividend profile. Investors can make mistakes blindly chasing dividend yields, so it's important to do the homework and understand if a business's dividends are healthy and if they're supported by their free cash flows. So here, they've kept their dividends per share flat over this time period, while their cash flow per share has increased. So based on this, their cash flows per share have fluctuated quite wildly in the past. Things have gotten better since 2018, and it looks like they're actually producing a lot of cash flow relative to their dividend. So in the most recent year, they had a dividend payout ratio relative to their cash flows of about 33%, which is pretty healthy, and it's below the 60% dividend payout ratio that we're typically going to want to have. So that is a good sign here. So in summary, Scorpio Tankers checks the box on 3 out of 8 pillars. The business does not earn high returns on capital at all. It's experienced 50% dilution, and while their free cash flow profile has improved, the business is highly, highly levered compared to what we would want it to be. We use that assumption about their free cash flow during our analysis. So to understand that, please go dive into their 10K and understand if that's accurate or not. If you're interested in learning more about the business, I highly recommend that you dive through that 10K and read their annual report to get a better sense of what the business is like and to understand how the business is levered in more depth. Remember that this type of analysis is just a starting point. It's not any sort of financial recommendation. So with that said, that's it for today's fundamental stock analysis of Scorpio Tankers Inc., ticker symbol STNG. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more stock analysis videos, and comment down below what business you want me to take a look at next. Thanks for learning about Scorpio Tankers with me, and have a great day.